evidence that Aaliyah's death was planned is starting to stack up, and it looks like Aaliyah could finally get her justice in 2023.
When Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV?
But first, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
Dame Dash and other people who were close to Aaliyah are starting to speak out on all the shady things about Aaliyah's death, and fans want to see this case reopened in 2023.
But what I was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that. So you could ask Hype about that.
That's what I said. Have you ever talked to Hype about it?
Yeah.
And how did that conversation go?
Ask him.
But was Aaliyah's death really planned? Is there enough evidence to reopen Aaliyah's case? Let's investigate it.
A trail of tears for Aaliyah. A horse-drawn carriage carried the fallen star's casket through the streets of New York, a somber procession reminiscent of the funeral for Princess Diana, who was also killed in a tragic accident exactly 4 years ago today. And just as the British royals mourned the loss of Diana, the royalty of African-American entertainment gathered on this day to remember the R&B princess, Aaliyah.
On January 16, 2023, Aaliyah Dana Houghton would have turned 44. And it's truly heartbreaking to think what a huge star she would be right now if she was still alive. Aaliyah had it all. She was a triple threat in singing, dancing, and acting. She was smart and cunning. She had natural beauty. The list goes on.
Be an entertainer. I wanted to sing, I wanted to act, I wanted to dance. From the moment I stepped foot on stage, at 6 years old in the play Annie, I was like, this is what I want to do. I have to do this. I'm happy doing this. So I'm living it, and I'm very, very happy about it.
Aaliyah's star power was undeniable, and if she was still here, a lot of today's R&B singers wouldn't stand a chance. But sadly, on August 25, 2001, Aaliyah's life was cut short at the age of 22 in a plane accident in the Bahamas.
Pleasure. The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
Now, the official story is that the plane carrying Aaliyah and 8 other people crashed because it was overloaded. However, most of Aaliyah's fans have never accepted this narrative because a lot of things simply don't add up, and new evidence is now starting to emerge that Aaliyah's death was not accidental.
Kill her! And that's what I've been saying. They killed her! She went to a seminary. They were all over the place.
See, Aaliyah was surrounded by a lot of creepy men most of her life, and even her own family is very sketchy. So let's take a closer look at the evidence supporting to Aaliyah's death being planned. The first man we need to talk to is Hype Williams, because his name gets brought up over and over again when it comes to Aaliyah's suspicious death. On August 21, 2001, Aaliyah appeared on BET's 106 in Park and revealed that the shooting of the video for her single Rock the Boat would start the following day and that Hype Williams would direct it. On August 22nd, Aaliyah flew to Miami to film dance routines on the green screen set, as well as underwater shots for the video.
All right, so I gotta check things out sometimes, make sure it's looking good. It's all good. Right now we get ready to do the dance. Excited about that.
But then, for some reason, Hype Williams decided to move the shoot from Miami to the Bahamas. And on August 23rd, Aaliyah and employees of Virgin Records flew to the Bahamas on 2 flights. But it's still unclear why Hype Williams insisted they shoot the video in the Bahamas when they had already started filming with a green screen in Miami. Because even if he wanted to shoot additional scenes on a real beach, doesn't Miami have enough beaches? It just doesn't make sense, and this is one of many reasons why fans have wondered if this was a ploy to get Aaliyah to travel alone, because she was terrified of flying and she always traveled with her mom or brother. What's also suspicious is that Aaliyah's ex-boyfriend Damon Dash said he warned Aaliyah not to go to the Bahamas because it wasn't necessary for the video, and he felt uncomfortable about Hype Williams asking her to go there. Aaliyah was scheduled to leave the Bahamas on August 26th. However, she chose to leave the day before because she had finished shooting the scenes for the video early. But according to Damon Dash, when Aaliyah saw the plane they gave her, she instantly had a bad feeling about it.
When she actually saw the plane, she, we had the Blackberries, and she said, I don't like this plane. And I was like, well, don't get on it. And she was like, well, I got to because I got work to do. She got on the plane, and she always had a very serious fear of planes in general. So she had to overcome a fear to get on that plane.
However, that's not all. Damon also revealed that Lenny Kravitz had offered Aaliyah a different private jet, but Hype Williams took it away from her.
But what I was really more tight about was that I had heard that Lenny Kravitz had offered her a jet and that Hype had took the jet. So that's what really pissed me off about the situation when I heard about that.
On August 25th, shortly before 7 p.m., Aaliyah and 8 Virgin Records employees boarded a twin-engine Cessna aircraft on the Abaco Islands in the northern Bahamas. The plane was supposed to arrive and pick them up at 4:30. However, it didn't arrive until 6:15. And the charter pilot Louis Key claimed to have overheard passengers arguing with pilot Luis Morales prior to takeoff. Key said that Morales warned them that there was too much weight for a safe flight. However, some of the passengers insisted they had to be in Miami Saturday night. There have also been reports that pilot Luis Morales had in his system, and he was not authorized to fly. However, some fans have speculated that someone ordered a smear campaign against the pilot to distract everyone from talking about the people responsible for forcing the pilot to fly an overloaded plane. However, it's still unclear who from Aaliyah's entourage argued with Morales and convinced them to let 9 people board the aircraft with all of their equipment. Besides that, according to journalist Kathy Landoli's 2021 biography of Aaliyah, Aaliyah was extremely nervous about flying on a small plane, and she initially refused to board it and went back into a taxi cab claiming she had a headache. Now here's the really disturbing part. Someone from Aaliyah's entourage was sent to check on her in the taxi, and this person slipped Aaliyah a sedative, and once Aaliyah was unconscious, they carried her into the plane. Eyewitness Kingsley Russell, whose family ran a taxi cab company in the Abaco Islands, later said that Aaliyah's entourage took her out of the van and she didn't even know she was getting boarded on a plane. Sadly, Aaliyah's worst fears came true shortly after takeoff, and the plane crashed about 200 feet from the runway. Aaliyah and 7 of the 8 others on board were killed instantly, while Scott Galen, Aaliyah's security guard, survived the crash but died shortly after.
An actress in some movies recently, even a Grammy nominee. Tonight, her family is in mourning, fans asking, why her?
Aaliyah was buried on August 31st in Manhattan, and an estimated 800 people attended the funeral procession, including a number of celebrities. However, there are no records of Hype Williams being there.
Among the mourners joining Aaliyah's grief-stricken parents, her aunt Gladys Knight, Aaliyah's boyfriend Damon Dash, fellow hip-hop honcho Sean Puffy Combs, R&B singers Usher, Maya, and Monica, hip-hop artists Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Lil' Kim, Missy, even former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson. As Aaliyah's casket was moved from the famed Frankie Campbell Funeral Chapel, her heartbroken mother, Diane Houghton, gently acknowledged the crowd of mourners.
Besides that, Hype Williams was strangely silent on Aaliyah's death, and he refused to talk about what happened in the Bahamas. But see, Williams isn't the only man who's been accused of being involved. And what's even more upsetting is that Aaliyah may have been betrayed by her own family. So you probably know that Aaliyah was manipulated by R. Kelly when she was a teenager, and that Kelly actually married Aaliyah when she was 15 and he was 27 by using a false marriage license. But what's equally disgusting is that Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson, the founder of Blackground Records, is the one who introduced R. Kelly to Aaliyah. Hankerson was R. Kelly's manager back in the day, and when Aaliyah was just 12 years old, he brought her into the studio and had her sing for Kelly. But then in 1993, when Aaliyah was 14, R. Kelly started working with her on her debut album titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
I found Leah. As a matter of fact, Barry Hankerson, my manager, who's her uncle, told me to go up to Detroit and hear her sing. Once I got up to Detroit, I didn't have to hear her sing because she was glowing. I knew she had it. As soon as she started singing, that verified it. And from there, we became here, and everything is all good.
So to think that Aaliyah's own uncle basically gave Aaliyah to R. Kelly at a time when everyone in the industry already knew Kelly was a major creep is beyond disgusting. See, R. Kelly was only recently charged and found guilty, but allegations against him go all the way back to the start of his career, and everyone who was someone in the music industry knew about these allegations. And Barry Hankerson must have known as well, because he's been involved in the entertainment industry since the 1970s and was married to legendary singer Gladys Knight. And as if that weren't bad enough, former Blackground Records associate Ayatollah Marv recently claimed that Barry Hankerson received a $90 million settlement for Aaliyah's passing.
When Aaliyah dies, I was with Barry when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death. He got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV? Sue me. I ain't got nothing. I was with him on the negotiations.
But there were also several other powerful industry men who were constantly circling around Aaliyah shortly before her death, including Jay-Z. In fact, in an interview with Page Six, Damon Dash claimed he never pursued Aaliyah as hard as Jay-Z did. On top of that, Damon later said that Jay-Z knew R. Kelly abused Aaliyah, and yet he still decided to record a joint album with Kelly, which was released less than a year after Aaliyah died.
And the karma happens, but the thing I didn't understand is I was like, I know I'm not fucking with that. And because of the moral challenge and him choosing one way, I knew morally we weren't the same. So to me, Rockefeller was defunct. It was over. I couldn't fuck with it. It was something that to me was just like, not to say unforgivable, but I couldn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? And then I didn't understand how people didn't, I thought, well, the people aren't gonna have that. But nobody said nothing.
Standing by, watching it, and just not.
Just nobody said.
And since all these big industry men were connected to Aaliyah, there's been a lot of speculation that Aaliyah's death was some kind of ritual sacrifice. These men were reportedly all fighting for control over Aaliyah and her career. However, Aaliyah was smart and spiritual, and she often talked about having dreams of escaping the pressure of success and being free. Also, we can't forget that Mary J. Blige once called Aaliyah's death a spiritual murder. And though she refused to elaborate on what she meant, it's extremely weird that she would use those words to describe a plane accident.
I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder, whether people know it or not. Because God don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring proof. You know what I'm saying? For what I learned. And she just was cut down in the prime of her life. And it's so unfair. And it wasn't time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I believe it wasn't her time to go, because from what I know, it ain't supposed to go down like that.
But you're probably wondering, where were Aaliyah's parents the whole time? Why did they let their teenage daughter spend so much time with all these grown men? Well, here's where the story gets even creepier. In an interview with Dr. Oz, Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson, claimed he had no clue about R. Kelly and Aaliyah's secret relationship. However, he said his sister, Aaliyah's mother, Diane, was definitely aware of it.
Were you aware of the issues going on with R. Kelly when they were going on?
No, didn't have a clue. Completely ignorant to it.
Do you think anyone in the family was?
Yes. I think my sister knew a lot more than what we thought she knew.
And then there are also rumors that at one point R. Kelly was sleeping with Diane while at the same time seeing Aaliyah, which adds another level of horror to this story. So as you can see, there are so many weird and suspicious things about Aaliyah's death, and to this day, most of Aaliyah's fans are convinced her death was planned. In fact, Aaliyah recently started trending on social media, and fans are now demanding that authorities should reopen the case and get to the bottom of what really happened to the princess of R&B, who had so much to offer the world.
Aaliyah was more than an entertainer. She was a role model who lived with grace and goodness. Aaliyah left this world like a princess.
People with protest signs urging for Aaliyah to get justice, one fan recently tweeted. It'll be on the same level that the Free Britney movement of 2021. Aaliyah will get justice in 2023. And now we want to hear your opinions on Aaliyah's tragic death. Do you think her death was planned? And should this case be reopened? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in our next video.